Hello, this is Mr. Hornsby Mr. Hornsby 83 here with JC. And you know, everybody's entitled to a bunch every once in a while. But another roundtable discussion. We're going to be talking about the WWE, the problems with WWE, and how they can fix it. Who could be a draw for the company if they really got behind them. I might go on a little bit of a rant on the internet wrestling fan community because sometimes they get on my nerves. But
They do me.
if that happens, you know, I'll explain why in my rant. But right now we're going to talk about WWE. Problems with WWE. What do you think?
Well, too long. Boring. They keep trying to cram Roman Reigns down your throat. I don't know. There's a number of things.
Well, my main thing is you got a delusional old man running the company still, Vince McMahon. You got a crackpot freaking writing team who's just as out of touch as him.
What do you expect for a bunch of movie actors, directors, or whatever, writers?
You come up with a bunch of stupid gimmicks for a lot of wrestlers. You bury a lot of the good wrestlers, and you want to and you wonder why. And plus, not only that, all the injuries you got Bryan out, which he probably won't come back anyway. You got freaking Rollins now out. You got Superman.
Randy Orton.
Yeah, Randy Orton. You got Superman out there. I guess that kryptonite finally got him. But he's supposed to be coming back soon. And you're relying on guys like Sheamus and Roman Reigns to try to carry the show, when really, it's not working.
No.
Roman Reigns, what they should have did, they should have played a smarter Survivor Series, but no. You gotta remember, this is WWE, this is Vince McMahon. Since WCW's went out of business, since ECW's went out of business, these freaking this freaking company has pretty much, it was good in the early 2000s and it went downhill from there. I mean, you know,
Storylines suck.
they ain't made no stars, except for the guys they want to make stars, like Cena. And you know, half your stars that you did make around that time frame have either went on to make movies, or have retired, or just said, the heck with this crap, I'll go somewhere better. But, you know, and that's the thing with it. Vince is like, no competition. I'll admit, I think he does watch the other, like, Ring of Honor, New Japan, because, you know, he's not paying attention to TNA, which half the people in the world are not, because TNA keeps making stupid decisions themselves. There for a while, they were doing good. Then after they did good, they went back to what they've been doing since 2010, and pretty much just, you know, now they're going to their third network. And I think if, we need to get some competition. And hopefully Global Force, but heck, they can't get a TV deal.
Plus
TNA.
Plus Global Force needs bigger names.
Yeah, they need some bigger name stars too. Not only that, and yeah, you gotta get a TV deal. TNA, you don't know how long they're gonna be on for much longer with the way they keep jumping from channel to channel to channel. They were on Spike, then they got boosted to,
Actually, they started off with Fox Sports.
well, Fox Sports, but you know, they went to Spike. Then they got booted to frickin' Destination America. A lot of people were calling it Final Destination America. Now Pop TV, and I think maybe they might get a little more ratings because it's on a regular, basic channel for cable, so they might get a little more ratings than what they were getting on Destination America.
More people can get Pop than they can Destination America.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, will their ratings improve drastically? Probably not. You know, it's TNA. Who they got left? I mean, Bobby Roode. You barely see him on TV.
They paid out too much over those big guys, too.
Bobby Lashley, Drew Galloway. You don't see those guys much either. You see Eric Young every week. You see freaking, you know, a bunch of other people that ain't even working on the show. You lost James Storm to WWE NXT. I mean, Jesus. But, it's just whack. You want to put in any more thoughts on?
Well, yeah, WWE does need competition bad. But I don't know what else they can do, so they can give Dean Ambrose a push to help, but they had Dolph Ziggler fighting stupid storylines with women for the last over a year.
Yeah.
Every year it's the same thing.
You know, things you should do to fix your company. We're jumping in that now. First of all, stop trying to create just one star, because, you know, if that guy goes down, now look, you build up Roman Reigns and the fans do get behind him. What happens if he gets injured after he wins the title? Oh, you ain't got nobody behind him. You're building up Sheamus right now because Rollins is out. And what happens if he gets injured? Nobody behind him. You know, you could go with Kevin Owens, which I think would be a better choice. I mean, I'm a Sheamus fan. I know a lot of people are saying with his new gimmick, he's boring and blah, 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 blah,
no,
blah.
Sheamus as a heel is better.
He is better as a heel, and, you know, when I met him a couple years ago, seemed like a good guy. I think the problem is the way he got booked. That's another problem. The way they book these superstars, they freaking book them terribly, and they can't get nowhere. They cannot get nowhere at all because they get booked terribly.
They got some good talent there, but they just want to keep building up certain guys.
And, you know, yeah, a lot of people say, oh, they've been pushing Roman to the moon since last year. I think that's, I'll be honest, I call people out on that because, honestly, Rollins had more TV time. Rollins was getting that mega push, and it finally culminated at WrestleMania. Yeah, people might have thought, oh, Roman was getting pushed, but it wasn't really the case because Rollins had more TV time, cut more promos, was in more main event matches than Roman last year. And, you know, even this year he was put in more main events and all that, which, you know, he was champion half the time. I think he's only mid-card at, once or twice against, you know, dinosaurs.
I had a problem with Sheamus cashing in because he was all playing mid-card the whole time, and all of a sudden he jumps up to superstar.
Yeah, plus his booking was bad going into it. He had lost, like, number of matches after winning.
Now he seems like an unstoppable force.
Yeah. And, you know, I gotta say I do like the idea of doing the League of Nations thing, but it's really not gonna make much difference because
it's
people
almost like a similar thing to the Authority.
Well, yeah, somewhat, but they're just, you know, being supported by the Authority this time. They're not freaking having, oh, the Authority, Triple H and Stephanie, yeah. But, you know, and that's like a major problem with WWE, the star problem, the freaking, all the situations.
Hours.
And let's get into who could be a draw now. And then I'll probably go on my mini rant for freaking the IWC. Well, internet wrestling fans, I'm not going to call them IWC because they get offended. But who could be a draw? Who do you think could be a draw for WWE?
I think if they can keep... I'd like to see Dan Ambrose get pushed up a little bit more.
Dan Ambrose?
Yeah.
Dean?
Dane, or I don't care.
I think Dean could be a good draw if WWE gets behind him. He was out selling Cena there for a while. His popularity, I mean, it's just through the roof. But look what happened with Daniel Bryan's popularity. They didn't want him being the guy. And despite what people think, one, I don't think they were trying to sabotage Daniel. They probably, you know, might have been trying to. But I think the problem was, you know, it's like, oh, he's too small. And, you know, you also got to think from a business perspective because I hear all these people on the internet, and I'm not knocking Daniel Bryan, great wrestler, very talented, deserved winning the title last year, but look at what happened when he did win the title. He eventually got injured, out half a year, comes back, gets another title, gets injured again.
But they booked him wrong in that one because they should have never put him in a ladders match.
Well, yeah, they booked him wrong with that, but...
Knowing he had an injured problem, come back too soon, they risked him getting injured again. That's WWE's fault.
That is WWE's fault, but he won the World Heavyweight title. Fans got what they wanted. Daniel Bryan got what he wanted. And then he gets injured. You cannot rely on a guy that's going to keep getting injured. I know he's probably up there in age, and WWE might have waited too long to push him. I understand all that, but you gotta think. Also, how long do you think Daniel Bryan would have been a draw? I don't think he would have been a draw probably most of last year, but then you would have looked at, he would eventually the ratings probably would have went down. Now, had they not screwed up things with CM Punk, I think CM Punk would have been putting this company back where it was before, pre-John Cena. Could have put him back up. But no, they had to misuse a guy like CM Punk and had to be stupid with everything. First of all, he's white hot in 2011 after the infamous pipe bomb.
And his merchandise was outselling Cena's.
It's outselling Cena. Then, first stupid mistake you make, you freaking put him up against Triple H, Mr. Burial. After that, every title match he had. Oh, and another thing. When Cena won the belt back from Del Rio after Del Rio had it for a month, you go and do this. Oh, Del Rio dominates CM Punk through the whole match and he's the one that got pinned because freaking they don't want to tarnish Cena, or Cena don't want his reputation tarnished. I mean, golly.
You've been cramming Cena down our throats too long.
And then, not only that, right after all that, at the SummerSlam match, they had this thing where, Cena had his hand on the rope. Instead of, he couldn't pin Cena fair and square. His hand was on the rope. He got freaking petted. He got freaking jackknifed by Kevin Nash. Ends up Del Rio cashed in, which then led to Cena beating Del Rio. Then freaking the Punk getting dominated by Del Rio. And then you throw him in mid-card matches for the title. I mean, heck, Cena was still main event, even though CM Punk was a champion. He was white hot. People wanted to see him more than they wanted to see freaking John Cena.
Somebody that literally cannot wrestle.
I mean, they freaking sit there and Cena. That annoys me. But, like I said, you got to get a guy that can draw. I think Dean Ambrose could, and I think, honestly, I'll be honest with you, a lot of people are probably going to get mad, internet fans, blah, blah, blah. They'll be like, he don't know what he's talking about. He's an idiot. He's probably a freaking mindless sheep. That's not the case. I can give you a number of guys that could draw, and one of them, Dean Ambrose, and I think he would draw better than Daniel Bryan would.
I think Bray could be another person.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, Bray Wyatt, he could draw.
Yeah, but they've already pretty much killed him, making him fight The Undertaker, build him up all through that storyline, and just kill him.
Yeah, buried him. And if Undertaker returns after what happened at Survivor Series, I am going to freaking boo him out of the building. That's freaking ridiculous. They built this up. Undertaker got his win at WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt and his team should have got this freaking win at Survivor Series, which is freaking stupid.
Yes, it is.
And these freaking, and you want to talk about mindless sheep, these mindless sheep that sit there and complain about freaking having these old attractions like Undertaker, Brock, and that being the top guys, they're the same ones that cheer for nostalgic reasons for WWE. And them are mindless sheep. What I'm saying is my opinion. This is what I feel. Dean Ambrose, I think, would draw better than Daniel Bryan. I'm taking nothing from Daniel. Great wrestler.
Bray has good promos.
Bray Wyatt could be a guy that could draw. But no, you don't want to push him. You bury him by Cena, and then you bury him by freaking Undertaker, a man that's like, 50, 60, whatever age he is?
Yeah, 50.
And then you have Kane. And then they wonder why they got to keep going to these freaking old stars. Because they can't build new stars. Because, one, they either bury them, or they freaking do something stupid with them and book them like they did with freaking Mizdow.
The only interesting thing I like on WWE's New Day.
New Day, yeah, that's hot. And I'm glad they didn't get buried by the freaking the Dudley Boys.
I don't understand why they brought back the Dudleys. They're doing the same thing TNA did with the Wyatts.
Again, it's all part of that WWE not building their own superstar thing. They want to bring back guys from the past.
They brought in...
Bring back Stone Cold. Let's bring back Rock. Let's bring back Undertaker.
Tommy Dreamer.
Bring back Brock. Let's bring back Tommy Dreamer.
The Douglas.
Anything to get ratings. You know what? You wouldn't be in this hole had you not fed half the best talent you had to guys like Cena or Roman Reigns or freaking old guys like Undertaker and freaking Kane.
They still never built Dolph around a good storyline. Dolph has a lot of potential.
And then what you did with Dolph Ziggler after he wins the freaking Survivor Series, don't do crap with him. Gets buried again.
By Tyler Breeze or somebody?
Well, he wasn't buried by Tyler Breeze.
He
was buried way before he got into this feud with Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, Tyler Breeze looks like a cheap knockoff.
Hey, Tyler Breeze is good. But now I'm going to get to these freaking internet wrestling fans. A lot of y'all know who you are. A lot of y'all freaking probably will hate me for this. And you know, some of these guys, I respect their opinions. I freaking followed on Facebook or YouTube or whatnot. I just, you know, these same people sit there and complain about WWE. How bad they're doing. What they're doing with talent. How they're wasting talent. But yet, they'll go when they're reviewing another freaking wrestling event or another wrestling pay-per-view. Like, something like, you know, Best in the World. Certain YouTubers complain about WWE and complain about everything John Cena does wrong. And they sit there and instead of paying more attention to talking about those, they spent half the freaking video talking about WWE. I'm like, okay, you don't want to talk about that company, you want to talk about this company, but yet you're sitting there talking about that freaking company while you're reviewing this company's pay-per-view, which, by the way, I thought was a pretty good pay-per-view, Best in the World. It's just ridiculous how hypocritical any internet wrestling fan is. It's just ridiculous. They're hypocrites. They freaking sit there, they complain about what WWE does, but then they turn around and buy the merch. They turn around and sit there, they buy the t-shirts. They sit there talking about they hate Cena, but then they're freaking wearing a Cena shirt and cheering for Cena while they're at the events. They sit there, they talk about, oh, I'm tired of watching this garbage, but yet they still freaking watch it. They don't watch any of the other wrestlings. They don't watch TNA. They don't watch Ring of Honor. But yet they'll complain about WWE. But yet if TNA or Ring of Honor does something wrong, it's like, oh, man, I'm not forgiving them. They're terrible. But yet WWE does a ton wrong, and y'all still forgive them. And I can understand, yeah, WWE's been around for a while. But, you know, it's just ridiculous how hypocritical these guys can be. That's why I do not declare. That's why when I started YouTube a couple years ago, I said, you know what? I'm not going to be one of those freaking internet wrestling fans. My opinions, I stick to my opinions. Yeah, sometimes I might feel like I'm being a hypocrite, but I'm not. I'm just speaking my facts, my opinions, what I feel about certain wrestlers, what I feel about certain, you know, what I don't feel about certain wrestlers. And, you know, I've never weighed on how I felt about John Cena. Just like the situation when Cena pointed out that kid in the stand earlier this year that had cancer, and all he was doing was saying, oh, you never give up. And I know, yeah, he was using that kid to get over. But a lot of people got mad over that. Got mad, started yelling and screaming. It's not like he freaking said, oh, you're not going to make it, kid. You're going to die. And, you know, I'm not a big John Cena apologist. I'm not a big John Cena fan. I hate Cena worse than anything. I could, you know, I would admire him if he was a bodybuilder or something. I would freaking be a Cena fan if he was a bodybuilder, but as a wrestler, no. Because how strong Cena is as a bodybuilder, I'll admire that. But his wrestling skill and everything else, I do not like Cena. And I get so tired of all these freaking people, and then they complain, then they go back and they watch WWE. Then they'll sit there and review it the next week, and they'll say, oh, I'm not going to review it again. I'm not going to waste my time on this garbage. But yet, then they go back to watching it.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You know, it's just stupid how freaking pathetic internet fans are. They want to sit there, and like this freaking recent news, this is something completely nothing to do with wrestling. All this crap about, you know. But yeah, that really annoys me with these internet wrestling fans. That's why I said, you know what? I'm going to be a topic show. It's going to be about entertainment. Sometimes I talk about real life stuff. Sometimes I talk about other things, like all kinds of different things, whether it's real life, entertainment, whatnot. And it really irritates me that these freaking wrestling fans sit there and they complain about this stuff but then they turn around and watch it, buy the merchandise, talk about it when they're reviewing or doing anything else with other freaking wrestling promotions. You know, it's just ridiculous how hypocritical this freaking internet wrestling fan base is. And people can get mad, they can dislike the video as much as they want. I'm just speaking my mind, I'm speaking my opinion, I'm speaking the truth, and I'm speaking fact. And if they don't, whether they like it or not, I know my facts, I know what the deal is. And, you know, I've watched a lot of internet wrestling shows. I've only followed two, which is, you know, Mark Times and Pro Wrestling Pulse, which is why I like Pro Wrestling Pulse, because they actually are not hypocritical. They're honest about everything they feel. You know, some other wrestling channels, no. But what do you think about internet wrestling fans, or do you have an opinion on it?
I don't know much.
Well, I guess that'll do it for this video. The next round table will not be about WWE or any kind of wrestling. It'll be about something else. I'm going to try to get a couple more people in, because, you know, the last two has just been me and JC. But, because I want to get other people's opinions. I want to get other people, especially some of my friends on this show, that they can voice their opinions. And some of them share the same opinions as me. Some of them don't. It can make for a good debate. It can make for a unanimous agreement. Whatever. But, that'll do it for this video. Please like it. Leave a comment. I'm pretty sure I'll get a lot of dislikes, especially from the internet wrestling fan base. But follow me on my Facebook fan page, Mr. Hornsby 83 Topics. Follow me on my Twitter at Mr. Hornsby 83. And until my next video, which I don't know when, because, you know, I've been relaxing and taking care of some other things that I needed to take care of. But until then, peace out.